Afternoon, everyone. See, today's session, we'll be talking about some rules for grammar because grammar as such becomes an integral part of the preparation process, not only for your exams that are with OLED papers, but also grammar becomes absolutely important when it comes to writing skills also, because anywhere in our life, we'll always be communicating in the written format. So when we talk about rules of grammar, so let's not get baffled with, that you probably will have to learn a lot. See, if you're reading a lot, sometimes automatically sense of grammar starts coming into being. But there's another problem. The more we read, we start solving questions of grammar by our gut feeling or the hunch feeling. We go by that, I haven't heard of this. I haven't read. That doesn't mean that if I haven't heard like this, or I haven't heard or read like this, that this kind of a rule. So certain rules have to be kept in mind while we are preparing for grammar. Let's not overrule them. And also at the same point, let's also not get overwhelmed with rules, because, too much of rule-based grammar might not be us, but basic principles or rules, one should be clear. One might be able to discern the meaning. You'll be surprised that sometimes, very basic things which we do not give a deep thought to, and we believe it like it might be like this, and it might not be true. So today's session, I'm going to cover about 5 to 10 rules of basic simple writing, and we'll cover this in further sessions also, more in further sessions, because how to prepare. So we're starting with, I'm going to ask you basic fundamental questions, and you'll be surprised. For example, when I say something, I'm doing the first few rules are going to come from the topic article usage. Now, when I write the word articles, so a lot of people say, now what are we going to learn? This was my first class learning of article. Yet you'll not believe a very simple topic like articles also might have certain kind of usages which we might not be very acquainted with. So I'm just, and if you know it, it's so nice that you know it, and you would be able to then check for yourself, would you be able to use them, and what would the meaning be? For example, let's say I have a word written as I know a Mr. Bose. And then I saw, I know Mr. Bose. Now look at it. I know a Mr. Bose and I know Mr. Bose. Now, a lot of people hear Mr. Bose, Miss Bose, or Mrs. Some when we use an article before Mr., Mrs., or Miss. Okay. So what is what rule number 1 says, when we use an article before any of the Mr., Miss, or Mrs., what would this mean, and how is it different from our plain Mr. Bose? How is this first part different from the second part? Are they the same, or am I using it? I should not be using an article like here. See, now this is a wonderful learning. If I say I know a Mr. Bose, and I know Mr. Bose, that these are 2 of my sentences. The first sentence where I use this article with a Mr. Bose or a Miss Bose or a Mrs. Bose, which is clearly implying that the speaker, I don't know this Mr. Bose, or Mr. Bose is a stranger to me. In the first part, please understand, Mr. Bose is with an article. The speaker does not know. It does not, I don't know. I don't know. But I'm just saying, I'm just saying it denotes that there is a person who's called Bose. There is a person who's called Bose. But the speaker does not know. Speaker is absolutely does not know. He's a stranger for me. Mr. Bose is a stranger. I just know he's called Bose. So in my colony there is a Mr. Bose, कि मुझे पता है कि कोई there is somebody जिसको हम Bose कहते हैं, Mr. Bose कहते हैं. But the speaker is absolutely, I am a stranger. He's a stranger for me. But when I say I know Mr. Bose, that means I really know him. I really know him personally. He might be my friend, he might be my neighbor, or he might be staying, and I really know him. He's an acquaintance. I know. So here it implies that the speaker knows, but here the speaker does not know. Look at such basic, speaker does not know. I know him and I don't know him. So when I say I know Mr. Sharma, that means Mr. Sharma is my friend. I know somebody, then I know Mr. So and so, that means I know him. When I say I know a Mr. Sharma, which is clearly saying I know a Miss Sharma in my class, that means she's called by the name of Miss Sharma. Okay, so the second one, look at the basic difference here, the second one here. Again, this is from the article part only. Now, see, when we use the article the, all of us know this is a definite article. Now, when I use this definite article the, and I'm using it before an adjective, I'm not covering the basic that I use it before an adjective. Now, look at this. What adjective am I using this before? So I'm just writing some, when I say he is a rich person, or I say he is a poor one, a rich guy, a poor beggar. Can you see the adjective that I'm using? And now when I say a dead soldier or a sick man, I'm bringing some adjectives to you. And or I say a healthy individual, or I say a deaf person, or a deaf beggar, or a blind man. Can you see these are all, first of all, these are adjectives. But can you see these are all going to be words that are adjective? But when I place the article the before them, now when I say the deaf, the blind, the rich, the poor, or the dead, can we see here? Absolutely, this changes the meaning. It makes them as when I say the deaf or the rich. The rich, immediately from an adjective, it becomes a noun. First of all, it becomes and it has a plural meaning. Can you see? First thing, it has a plural meaning. From an adjective, it became a noun with a plural meaning. Can you see? By just placing the definite article before these words, it became a noun and it has a plural meaning. Now, the plural meaning is the rich would mean all the rich people, all the rich people. It means rich people. Same thing when I say the deaf suffer a lot. Now, I mean deaf people, the rich own luxurious luxurious cars. So, which is clearly saying that we are talking about, we are talking about the class of people, all the poor people, the dead, the sick, the healthy. So from an adjective, when we place a definite article, it becomes a noun. It becomes a noun and it starts having a plural meaning. So when you place a definite article with the adjectives, it becomes a noun meaning plural, meaning plural. The third one. The third one is real great. With certain adjectives. Now, for example, we can also have this when we talk about certain adjectives indicating nationalities. Like, for example, we can have the Dutch. Now, it clearly says same thing here. With certain adjectives like the Dutch, the Spanish, the Chinese, the Burmese. So, with certain adjectives indicating nationality. So when we add this definite article the before, this is also with certain adjectives, they become nationalities. Now when you add this the before Dutch or the Spanish or with the Chinese, see there they became nouns and here they become nationalities. So another learning here. The Burmese, this will start reflecting immediately when you add the with this, you add the definite article the before any kind of these adjectives, they became a class there when it was the rich, the poor. But here it becomes a nationality. Can you see here? The usage of article the before an adjective sometimes demonstrates a class of people, and other times it can be a nationality also. And other times it can also be a nationality. So clearly reflecting that this is absolutely, it becomes a nationality. So this was really important. Now, We're going to use the fourth rule of articles we can do here. See, now there is this another very big confusion that should I use, these are some words, first of all. Let me give you some names of places. Like, for example, it could be a school, college, a university, or like a prison. I'm giving you names of places like nothing much, prison, or I say here some kind of usage with a hospital, school, college, hospital, prison, temple, church, any kind of place of worship you can take here. I'm just taking two of them. See now, please understand when we are using, should I use, first of all, my question to you is, for these places, should I say that, should we use an article? Should we first use an article? So when I say here that these places, should we say that my aunt is in hospital? I'm writing two sentences. My aunt is in hospital. Should I say like this? Or should I say is in the hospital? Would the meaning change or is it same? Would the meaning change or is it same? My aunt is in hospital or my aunt is in the hospital? So please see here, when I say here that my aunt is in hospital, when we're talking about, see, oh, look at all these names that I've written. All these places have, now, first of all, we have to see all these places have a primary purpose. So here I'm giving you an understanding of primary purpose, and then we'll talk about the secondary purpose. So when I say a primary purpose, please do not get confused. Primary purpose means that somebody is in school studying, in college doing education, university, goes to the temple to pray, or to the church or hospital. He's getting a treatment in the prison. Maybe he's a convict. So please understand, when we are talking about these places as primary purposes, we know what is the purpose of each one of them. What is the purpose of each one of them? We clearly know there. So understand that when somebody is there in these places for a primary purpose, let's say my aunt is in hospital, that means here clearly saying when it is having no article, it clearly says she's there for a primary purpose. That means she's getting her treatment done. But my aunt is in the hospital, then she's not there for the primary purpose. She has gone there for some secondary purpose, and that secondary purpose could be she might be visiting somebody, she might be going and distributing some kind of blankets or food, she might be delivering food for somebody. So understand that when we say this, if somebody is in prison, that means he's a convict. But if somebody is in the prison, probably he's in the prison giving a lecture on morality. So clearly understand that if you are at these places doing a primary purpose thing, then you don't need an article. So you will say, my aunt is in the hospital, but my aunt is in the hospital distributing blankets to the poor, distributing sweet. My aunt is in the college. Now understand, and let me take my perspective. Now, obviously, all of you know, I cannot go in the school and study. At my age, I would not be in a school. So I'll say, I am in the school. I went to the school to eat pastries at the canteen. So you can understand, I went there with primary purpose. You will use no article. But let's say if I'm studying in a university, I'll say I'm at the university. I'm at the university. The university doing something else, doing a research project. But when I am in university, that means I'm studying. Secondary purpose, you can use the article. No article, but here for secondary purpose, you can use the article. Use an article accordingly. Clear? So this is one great thing we've learned about articles. Today I'm doing about 5-6 rules from the article, and probably further sessions I'll be doing on various other parts. Now, the fifth one. This is really 5 to 6 rules I'm teaching you today with giving you clarity. Basic article usage, you all of you know that. Now, where can we omit the article? Can we see? First of all, let's have a look here. Where can we omit articles? We can omit articles when we are talking about a language. But here also we can, when we talk about a language, for example, English, Hindi, any of these language, we do not need the article. Just give me 1 minute. So when I say English and then I say the English is a difficult language. That's a wrong usage. When I use the here, you can understand I'm talking about the English people. Here I refer to the English people, the rule that I taught you before. But here this article is allowed because I'm talking about people. But when I'm talking about English, then we speak English at home. See, we speak for English at home. Now I'm talking about the language English and I need no article here. But when I say the English and the French, the English and the French have fought various wars. Now I'm talking about the people, the English and the French have fought various wars. Okay? So language, we don't omit before a language, but use it before a nationality or before people. Use it. We can use it before nationality or people, but we cannot use it before a language. Okay? So next one. So next one also we can also use it. We can now here's a list that I want to give you. So you use no article, the sixth rule. You use no article before nouns in the following expressions. We cannot say to catch fire. I'm giving you certain no articles. To give ear. These are certain nouns in the following expression. By land. By the land nahi. On foot. On the foot nahi. By air. At ease. At an ease nahi hota. To take offense. You never use an article here. At home. I'm at home. At the home nahi. At home. By day. We'll reach there by day. At night. You will never use any kind of article with this. We never use this. And the last one here, the last one. Just doing this. The last one we are saying here. Now I'm writing another few words like bed. Omission I'm teaching you. Bed. See. We go to bed to sleep. We go to hospital as doctors. We go to university for higher studies. So here, same thing I'm adding on here. I'm so sorry we've done this, so we can just do another one here. Then next one is the article. We can also use this. Where to omit? We can never use, we omitted article before languages. We can also omit it before any kind of metals, names of games. I'm giving you a list, names of games, omit article, metals, names of games, names of festivals. But here I'll like to give you an exception also. We can also use it by names of games, festivals, names of metals, and also here we can use as and grains, food grains. But see, now when I say cricket is an interesting game. So look, I'm referring to the game. Holi is a festival of colors. Wheat is the staple food of our country. So can you see here, copper is a precious metal. I've given you example, but there can be an exception when we need no articles here, when we are talking about them. But when these same are being used to show some kind of, I'm so sorry, when they're used to show some kind of specificity. Now, look at it. The Holi of Vrindavan. the Holi of Banaras. Now I'm talking about, I'm not using before any kind of festival, but I am using it in context to Banaras. The wheat of the rice of Bengal. अब आप देख रहे हो? The cricket of Pakistan and the gold of Kolar mines. Can you see here? When I'm talking in general about metals, names of games, names of festivals, names of food item, food grains, no article usage. We use no article. But when again we are using them in context with any of the places, so please understand, when we use them in context of any place, specificity, no article to be used when we are talking in general. But when we are talking about these in specific to some place, to some, like we say, the gold of Kolar mines, then we are using the article. Can you see the exception here? In general, with languages, you will skip. With names of games, names of festivals, name of food grains, no article to be used. Similarly, but when we point out to them in specificity to a place, to a region, to a country, or to some kind of a specific place like the gold of Kolar mines, the Holi of Banaras, the rice of Bengal, the cricket of Pakistan, we're talking in reference to a proper noun, then the article is okay. Then article is allowed. Article is allowed or article is okay. Clear? So thank you, everyone. And these are your 6-7 rules that I talked about for article usage. So we'll cover, I'll be doing a series of more grammar sessions with you where I'll like to cover topic wise. So today's topic was articles. So I covered some basic concepts of articles.